I'm currently only 10 jumps away from being my first catastrophic tower in EToH, please. But first, let's go all the way back to my very first day grinding this tower. On Saturday, March 8th, I started up a live stream where I did a few attempts on the Tower of Generation failure for the first time, just to see if I could get anywhere. But I never really tried grinding it because I wasn't even sure if I could get anywhere near beating it, since in case you didn't know, this tower is really hard. For reference, there are a total of 11 difficulties in EToH, and ToGF just happens to be a catastrophic tower, which is the hardest difficulty in the entire game. I had beaten 4 terrifyings at the time, including Tower of Inception, the hardest non-kata tower, so I was confident that I had the skill needed to beat ToGF. Despite this, I still knew it was going to take a long time to complete a tower that hard, and that's why I gave myself a total of 7 days to beat my first catastrophic tower in EToH, the Tower of Generation failure. Since it was only the first day of the grind, my expectations were pretty low, but I was hoping I could get to at least 4 or 5, as my PB at the time was an insta-kill section on 4 that I wasn't sure how to do. I decided to stream the tower so it wouldn't be as boring for me, since I knew I'd spend most of my time loop failing the first couple floors, and that could have been really demotivating if I hadn't found a way to make it more enjoyable. And I think this really helped, because 15 minutes into the stream, I got the floor 3 outside, one of the hardest parts of the tower for me at the time, and I somehow managed to get past it first try, which brought me straight up to floor 4. But it wasn't long before I encountered my next roadblock on the tower, this ledge grab on 4 outside. When you fail this, you have to redo a short section at the end of 3 to get back up, which isn't netted, and that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But I was failing this ledge grab jump so many times that I was scared I was going to fall back down to 1, redoing floor 3 over and over again. Thankfully, I was eventually able to get past it, and I made my way to this section in the middle of 4 that happens to be over an insta-kill, and it was also my personal best at the time. I really struggled with this first sphere jump because I couldn't find a consistent strategy for it, and I'd failed that a few times on previous attempts, but I just used a guide and found a strategy that seemed alright at the time, and even though it worked here,
yes, new PB,
I would still need to change it later because it wasn't fully consistent. But for now, we'll move on from that jump because I still had to do the end of 4 if I wanted to reach my goal for the day of floor 5, and some of the sections I had left were really difficult. After barely landing this S-Wrap, I reached yet another sphere jump I didn't know how to do, and I just kind of went for it blindly with no strategy, resulting in me falling back to the start of the floor. The next time I got there, I tried to align myself better, but I still just wasn't doing the jump right, so I failed it yet again. But I was able to get back up fairly quickly, and this time I watched a guide before doing it, which gave me a much better understanding of the jump, and I was finally able to land it, bringing me very close to floor 5. Only a small netted section and a few basic wraps remained, and I was able to get past floor 4 after being stuck on it for weeks.
Yo, we're at 5, let's go.
My run on 5 started off good as I got past the early parts of the floor, but I lost focus for some reason and completely underestimated this jump, leading to me wrapping way too far outwards and falling back to 4. And one thing about floor 4 that I didn't mention yet is that I happened to have my least favorite jump in the entire tower, this sphere wrap, and it also happened to be the only jump I was never able to find a consistent strategy for, even to this day, despite trying to do it every possible way. So I think you can see why I ended up failing it, and before I knew it, I was back at 1. I thought about just ending the stream there, but I still wanted to do at least a few more attempts, so I made my way back to 3 outside, where I failed this jump. Though for some reason, I still wanted to keep going, so I continued playing until I failed the insta-kill section on 4 because the strat I had for this jump wasn't great, and I knew I would need to fix it later on. That was it for that stream, but we still aren't done with day 1, because I started up another stream later that night, and this time my goal was to get to 6, the hardest floor of the tower. The stream actually didn't start off the best, as I failed 3 outside twice within the first 30 minutes because I still didn't have all the strats down for it. And even when I did get past it, I just fell right back down and had to redo it, leading to me failing it 3 more times. I thought I would be fine once I got to 4, but I was wrong, because you guessed it, I just fell right back down and then failed that stupid outside and got sent back to the start of the tower. Even as I kept playing, it seemed like no matter what I did, I just couldn't pass 3 outside. But after 7 fails on that outside in a row, I somehow managed to make my way back to floor 5. This time, I was extra careful and took my time on every jump, and that's how I was able to get to 6, which was my goal for that stream.
Oh yes.
I knew I wasn't going to get past 6 because, like I said, it's the hardest floor of the entire tower, and I was able to get to the first outside section where I overshot this jump and landed in a place where I had to jump back down to the end of 4. I was definitely getting more consistent though, because I got back up to 6 shortly after. This time I did pass that short outside, but there was another outside not too long after, and I had no clue how to properly do this ladder drop onto this platform. Instead of going into ghost mode and turning my camera 180 degrees, which is what you're supposed to do, I just pressed shift lock to turn sideways, which led to me bouncing upwards and hitting the wall above me. The worst part is, I didn't even save myself on floor 4 by just moving towards the frame, so I was all the way back at floor 1. Unfortunately, I couldn't get back up there that day no matter how hard I tried, so I eventually just gave up and ended the stream after a ton more 3 outside fails. But I have to say, getting to floor 6 on my first day grinding this tower was actually really good progress, and I was happy with that, but I still wanted to get even further on day 2. Alright, I know I talked about day 1 for way too long, but that's just because I was constantly making progress and learning new stuff about the tower, and the further we get into the grind, the more repetitive it's gonna get. So I'm not gonna talk about the rest of the days nearly as much as that one. The second day of my ToGF grind was on a Sunday, so I had plenty of time to stream it, and that's exactly what I did. But the problem was, I still didn't find good strategies for most of the jumps that were giving me trouble, so it was very rare that I'd even get to the end of 4. That's why I made it my goal for that day to just try and gain some consistency in the first half of the tower and find the best way to do every jump. After over an hour and a half of grinding and finding strategies, I finally got another 6 attempts. I knew that if I fell, it would take me a really long time to get back up, so I wanted to at least get a new PB this attempt. But then, this happened.
But yeah, he was
Well, yeah, I'm
nice. He
okay.
explained to me how. What?
Yeah, apparently that one singular jump is over an insta-kill, which I did not know when doing it. That's why I rushed it. That was probably the dumbest fail I had so far, because that jump is so easy compared to the rest of 6. I just made the mistake of rushing it, but I had already gotten sent back to the start, so the only thing I could do was just keep going until I got back there. It took a long time to do that, but it happened eventually, and when it did, I spent over an hour and a half just loop failing 6 over and over again. Later in this video, I'll talk more individually about why I was struggling so much with this floor as well as the rest of the tower, but at the time I didn't have all the strategies and stuff that I do now, so it took me forever to get past this floor just one singular time. The loop failing continued, and I didn't even think I had a shot at passing 6. That was until this happened.
Yes! Yes! Bro, I'm on 7. And I did the first 2 unsafe challenges of 7. There's only one more challenge of 7 that's unsafe.
Alright, before I continue showing what happened, I want to quickly explain floor 7. It basically has 8 different button sections, and while they're mostly netted, 3 of them either have parts you can fall outside and it sends you to the bottom of the tower, or inescapable GBJs that force you to restart your run entirely. I'll put some text on the screen whenever I'm doing an unsafe section just so you guys know.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Well, there's like 8 different doors, but only 3 of them have GBJs. Okay, wait, I think the rest of them are safe. Floor 8, floor 8. Oh, this part might take me a little bit. Trust me, this part does get hard though. If it's, oh yes it is, it's the elevator section, the infamous elevators. T-pose carry me. T-pose carry. Not over though. This one's pretty difficult. T-pose. Oh no, this jump is so bad, bro. Like sometimes when you try and turn to get into the gap, you'll just be thrown out. See?
I had failed the last unsafe jump at 8, so basically, if I passed that one jump, I would have had a chance at 9 outside. Okay, technically you could fail a little bit after that and get sent back to the start of 8, but nobody's failing this part anyways, so let's just say I would have made it to 9 if I passed that. But that wraparound is just really hard, especially with all the stress of being over an insta-kill. Honestly, it looks a lot easier than it actually is when you just watch a clip of someone doing it, but if you want to try it for yourself, you'll see that jump is really strict, and of course, like I keep saying, pressure makes it so much harder. As much as I wanted to keep doing runs on the tower, I had to go to bed since I had school the next day, so I just called it there. Day 3 was on a Monday, meaning I would have school every day for the rest of the time I gave myself to grind this, so with limited time, I really had to make every run count. And I thought I was doing a good job at that when I got to 6 within the first 35 minutes of playing. But like I said earlier, 6 is the hardest floor of the tower, so passing it again wasn't going to be easy. Plus, even though I had some strats, I still didn't have all the best ones, meaning I was extremely inconsistent. And I hate to say this, but this inconsistency led me to not being able to pass 6 a single time that day. I was constantly having fails like this one because there's a lot of jumps on 6 that absolutely suck if you don't know the perfect way to do them. I cut the day short because I was not having any fun just being stuck here for hours, so let's hope the next day is at least a little bit better. I really did not have that much time to play on day 4, so I didn't expect to get anywhere. The only thing I really wanted to do was just get better at 1 through 6 so I could pass them more often when I did have more time to grind. And even though I never actually got past 6 on this day because stuff like this kept happening, I do think I gained some consistency on 1 through 6, especially 6, because I found some new strategies and got some good practice in. But the real test of that will be on day 5. It was only a matter of time before I got past 6 again. And not only did I get past 6, but I made it all the way to the bullet section, which is located right after the jump that was my personal best before. The rest of 8 is netted, so all I had to worry about was floor 9, which had not only an outside section that sends you back to 1 if you fail it, but also yet another large insta-kill section. Once again, I'll indicate whether or not each section will kill you if you fall because it can be a little confusing at times.
Well, there it is. New PB. We have a little bit of a net and then a little bit more gameplay and then 9. Nice. And I ended on the second one. All right, floor 9 outside. This is it. The outside, everyone dreads on this tower. Here we go. Please, bro. This is it. The time section. Here we go. Yes! Con jump. Right here. Okay. All right, I just get a little bit of this and then we're back on the inside. Whoa, that was scary. My camera was not positioned correctly. We're on 9 inside. If you fall here, you go back to the net, but like in a little bit, we're not gonna get a net. It's about to be more GBJs. Yep, it's a GBJ from here on out. The alignment is the most important part. Yes, towards the front. That's how you want to do that. There's some straightforward jumps that I'm more scared of in a little bit. This Catastrophic is a little difficult. Nice, down here. I just gotta be careful on this pusher. All right, there's another one for some reason. We're getting to some very difficult stuff. That was too close. This wrap. Yes. I want to be as careful as possible here. Yes. Got the button. T-pose is clutch for that. That's actually pretty hard to get in without it. Other way. Good. All right. This jump. I know what you do. You have to align backwards. No. 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 No, please. Dude, I have to redo the GBJ section. I did it once. I can do it again. Come on. I have button progress, don't I? This is still a GBJ. I got to be very careful. Just remember how to do this jump. When do I get to the button progress part?
And that was the worst fail I've ever had in EToH. Even worse than the ToAR one in my last video, because this is a catastrophic tower. I was one singular jump away from reaching floor 10, besides a completely free head hitter, and 10 is almost entirely netted. That resulted in me having to redo the insta-kill section on 9, and I just couldn't do it a second time. I really could have beaten it there, but the pressure got the best of me. Even just watching the section back is still painful to this day, because it felt so bad knowing I couldn't just be done with the tower. I really regret trying to beat this so quickly because I was basically forcing myself to spend every single second of my free time playing this. Another day of grinding this tower, meaning another day I had no time left over to do something I actually enjoy. Oh well, I guess I just gotta push through it. After over 2 hours of struggling on 1 through 7, I made it to that jump on 8 that I failed that one time. I practiced the jump so much that I thought I was done failing it, but the pressure got the best of me and I fell right into the insta-kill. The only good thing about this day was that I was gaining consistency and I could get past 6 with much less trouble now that I knew all the strategies. You know, I've talked about these strats so much in this video that I figure I should go through them all individually. So here's a quick breakdown of the tower and all of the best advice I could give anyone who's trying to beat it. If you want to grind this someday, this is the section for you, because it took me days to learn this and I'm about to give you all that info in just a few minutes. Okay, wait, I was originally going to include all the strategies in this video, but it ended up being way too long, so if you need the strats for this tower, I'm going to link a separate video in the description that's just all the strategies that you'll need to know. It'll also be linked in the pinned comment, so check it out there, but for now, let's just get back into the runs. Surprisingly, I was able to not just get back up there, but also to floor 9 in only around an hour. I was so close to beating it last time that I knew I had a chance.
I'm just way too stressed out to even do like a simple netted part. We're safe for a little bit, and then there's a GBJ right after. All right, now this is a GBJ. This thing you like really have to get the alignment if you want to pass it. I like that. Okay. Oh my gosh, dude. I hate this jump with a passion, but I did it once. I can do it again. Align well, turn a tiny bit, and then go. Yes. Just go slow here. Okay, please, bro. Please. This wrap is right here. It's pretty hard. Nice. This wrap, though, it's worse. Nice. What?
And that is the dumbest fail I've ever had in EToH. I cannot understate how easy this jump is, and you probably know why I failed it at this point. Stress. My hands were shaking the entire time I was doing this section, and I just couldn't think properly, so for some reason, I barely turned it on and completely overshot this extremely easy stick out. This made me so mad because I absolutely should not have failed that. I don't know how I let that happen. The next time I got to 9, I decided to completely stop talking to see if that would help, but it didn't. I fell into the insta-kill for a third time, and it just felt hopeless at that point. At least I failed an actually difficult jump though. That Catastrophic is harder than it looks. Similar to the other days, I had school the next one, so I was unable to do any more attempts, and I would just have to wait until the final day. Before I knew it, it was already day 7. If I didn't beat it on this day, I would probably take a long break from the tower. But I didn't want that to happen. I just wanted to complete it. Thankfully, it was a Friday, so I had more time to play, and the day got off to a great start. I got to the 9 insta-kill section in only 45 minutes, my fastest time yet. I was in a good mood and this run felt really promising. Here's how it went.
No, oh, that was so close. Okay, please. Come on. All right, this jump is pretty hard. Nice. That was really weird. All right, let's go in. There we go. I don't know what the heck I did last time. Nice. This jump's pretty hard. Go way back. Nice. PB jump. I learned how to do this. I came up with my own strat. Please, bro. Yes, yes, oh yes, floor 10. Oh my gosh, this could be it. This could be it. Please, dude, please. Some of these jumps I can catch myself, but we just want to be as careful as possible. Like if I fail this, I have to redo 9 GBJ. It's pretty difficult. Nice, nice. Gotta know where you're going. This one I don't find to be easy. Got it though. Go. Oh, this is a tight stick out. Nice, I got it though. Oh my gosh, I got stuck on it. That was way too close. This one you just gotta climb like that. It's fairly hard. I got it though. There's one more jump. Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay, I saved. We're fine, we're fine. I really gotta lock in. That jump is pretty hard though. I remember there's another jump up here that I thought was difficult. Yeah, this jump I think is pretty hard. No! Oh my gosh, dude, the pressure. I misaligned and messed it up. We're fine though, we're fine. We can get back up. I got it. I got it. I landed it. Is that it? Oh my gosh. I think I just beat it, bro. I think I just beat it. There's no way I just beat it, right? There's no way. This jump is genuinely impossible. This one. But I did it. That worked. That section done. Oh my gosh. I did it. Yes, finally. I beat it. I just gotta touch the wind pad. Oh, yeah. I'm so... Oh my gosh. It's over. I did it. There's no way, dude. I finally did it. All those like floor 8 or whatever fails. Floor 8 fails, floor 9 fails. All those GVJs I fell in. It all comes down to this. And I finally did it. Oh my gosh. I never thought I would beat a Cata, dude.
And just like that, I beat my first catastrophic tower in EToH, the Tower of Generation Failure. It was a long journey, but in the end, it was successful. All those really bad fails led up to me eventually beating it, and I was finally satisfied since I've wanted to beat a tower of this difficulty for years now. I don't know when I'll beat another Cata since it's a huge commitment and takes up a ton of time, but for now, I'm happy with having beaten this one. Well, that's all I wanted to say for now, so I'll see you guys next week with a video where I try and beat the Tower of Curved Descent while high on dental painkillers. But until then, you guys can check out this video, or maybe drop a like and subscribe if you didn't hate this video so much that you skipped to this point just to see it end. Okay, actually though, thanks for watching, and we're really close to 2K, so sub if you want to help me hit that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Dude, I'll play as much ETO as you guys want if I can beat Bloodbath. I'm not gonna lie.
ETO,
I said ETO. I said ETO. I said ETO.
You're like,
Can we clip that?